The Monster Hunter movie has a racist joke early on, and Monster Hunter World is being review bombed because of it. There's been a lot of comments, and I decided I wanted to weigh in. Now, I'm not going to be showing the movie trailer because I'm not sure if there's going to be copyright strikes to people talking about this sort of thing, so I'm just going to use some footage from Monster Hunter World.
Dumo plays.
I should probably start by saying that I have not actually seen the Monster Hunter movie yet, and I've been torn as to whether or not I want to support it. I love the series, and I want to support the movie, but I don't really like Paul W.S. Anderson, and the things that have been brought up against him, such as safety on set. This isn't helping. The Monster Hunter movie released in China, and early on it has a joke that is bad writing to begin with. Now add in that it's referencing a rhyme that's been around for decades and considered racist with sexual undertones. Furthermore, I doubt the translation to Mandarin still has it rhyming, which doesn't help this situation at all. At the very least, they should have at least removed it from the Chinese release. Some people have said that it was intended to make the character unliked, but seriously, you can do that just fine without saying anything about race or culture. It baffles me that it made it into the film. It had to have been written, proofed, approved, read, rehearsed, directed, acted, filmed, edited, and released. This is not a small process, and somewhere along the journey, someone must have said something about this line. We live in a time where people are easily offended, and I'm surprised that there isn't, at the very least, a few people checking for things that would be considered offensive. They could be making a report, having it checked by higher-ups, and they could decide whether or not they want to take the risk of putting this line in the movie. And in this case, if something had been said about the line, why is it still in the movie? So many companies and industries are trying to find their way into the Chinese market, and at this point in time, the market is very heavily controlled. Why would you risk angering that market at all? And that's just saying something offensive. Making a racist joke? It's even more baffling. You could even argue that they didn't realize it was racist, but again, is there no one in this long process that could have pointed out that ignorance? Apparently the movie is being pulled from theaters in China. They may have an opportunity to edit out the line and try again, but unfortunately the damage has already been done. And this leads us to Monster Hunter World, which is getting review bombed on Steam at this point in time. I've seen people claiming that it's wrong to review bomb the game because of a line in the movie, so let's take a look at why people would be review bombing the game. They could go after the movie further, but let's be realistic. Complaining about a line in a movie that everyone expected to be hot trash isn't going to get you very far. It might not even be flagged as an issue for Capcom. The review bomb of World is basically a peaceful protest, and to be honest, it's been fairly successful. We are discussing the situation in the community after all. It now also has a greater effect on the Monster Hunter franchise, and that means that the leadership at Capcom will be discussing the situation in meetings. It's going to be interesting to see how they respond, if at all. As for being mad about the game taking a hit, who cares? It doesn't affect you or I. It's not like it's going to greatly affect sales. This will eventually be forgotten, and sales will resume, which means that the player base won't actually be affected. That means you don't have to worry about your community going away. Plus, this was, so far, only on Steam. The game is still the best-selling Capcom release in the company's long history. The franchise will still continue, and Monster Hunter Rise is still going to get its release, and it's going to sell very well around the world. It may even sell in China. I guess the largest question at this point in time is, would the Chinese government allow the game to release on Switch in China? I have no way of knowing whether or not this will affect their opportunity in China. I hope it doesn't, but this was a pretty big mistake. It is really disappointing that all of this is over a small line that took up only a few seconds in the movie. That really shouldn't have been there in the first place, and someone should have caught and edited it out. The only real saving grace that they have at the moment is that the movie and the games are rather disconnected. Either way, I expect a successful launch for Monster Hunter Rise. The franchise I enjoy will continue, and the people working hard on the games will still have jobs, which is all I really care about. I don't need to see Capcom breaking sales records with every release. I just want to see the franchise continue, and the teams working on the games still having their jobs. Let's hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, I invite you to leave a like, and even subscribe to the channel. Until next time, give your Palamute a pat on the head from me, and have a great day.